Hey folks, I'm Red, and this is my Watcher of Realms channel. This is the free-to-play series, and today's a little bit of a different video because if you're like me and you've been doing Guild Boss for a while, and you're also like me and you've not been doing Abyss, this is going to be a video where I try and do Abyss. All right. Now the reason for this, you can see no one in my guild is even hitting Abyss. At this point, you know, I can use a single attack on Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4, and I hit over 80k, and so I've got a pretty good squad here. And with Abyss, basically there's no reason for us to do it because we can't get it down. Now, it also costs an additional 100 diamonds if you want to do it. The other day, I've basically been waiting for once in a while to give you one of these tokens as a login reward. And so I've been trying on those days. And yeah, it hasn't been going very well. But I did manage to get this second chest. The thing with each of these chests is if you get 5k, you have a chance at these soul stones, which is pretty cool. 12k, I guess you have a slightly better chance, but there's still a lot of stuff in there that you probably aren't really interested in. So it's just kind of hit or miss. And if you're only getting one chest, it's really more worth it to try on Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4 instead. Try to get max chest there. So even though I'm getting max chest here and I'm kind of blowing it out of the park, I can't consistently get these. So let me just show you the team that I have. I don't really have any of the meta heroes. If you don't have Vorn, then you're going to want to use someone like a Cetrum, who I also have. But I was trying initially with Cetrum to kind of get through the shields, and I found that Vorn just works way better. I don't know how that happens. He should only be affecting ground units, but for some reason he seems to boost Hex as well. Now this is the team that I'm running, and it kind of works to get me to 12k. I have to use a lot of healing. If you have an Aylin, she's way better than Elowyn, but Elowyn is kind of who I have. I'm at around 957k BP, so not super high. I do have some damage mitigation with Ferssi. I am using Twinfiend as a lord here, and that helps with Diaochan as well. And then I just have some good damage from these heroes here. And it's a bit tricky because they die. So Fastidious has a video where he uses Twyla to good effect, but his Twyla is Awakened 5, and at Awakened 5 you can actually ignore some fatal damage, which happens pretty easily with this boss. So that's one reason he's able to kind of hit the numbers that he does. But Twyla does some really good damage, and she even out damages Kigiri in this team, and that's, you know, even if I can keep Kigiri alive, which is not really necessarily always the case. So I'll just kind of show you how this works with the playtest here, and then I'll show you the stats at the end. My stats are not crazy, but they're not terrible either, so this does require some good gear. But I find that Vorn is really the one who kind of makes this work for whatever reason, even though he's not doing so much, except putting out the poison and helping with the shield break. Okay, so I'm gonna put out my Hex and then boost with Diaochan and switch her over, and then put in my main damage dealer, which is Sun Wukong, and then put in Elowyn to give him the invigoration, and then put in my other damage dealer, Twyla, and boost with Ferssi, and then put in my Twinfiend here, and then Vorn here, and then put in our other 2 fighters here. Okay, and I'll hold on to the ultimate here, but then I'll trigger my Sun Wukong and Twyla as soon as Twinfiend's ultimate is up. He does some nice debuffs. So as soon as he comes available, I will put him on, and then I'll trigger my other ultimates here. So here's Twinfiend, and then Twyla, and then Sun Wukong. And then I will also trigger Kigiri as soon as he's available. And notice we get a stun pretty soon. And I will need to use my healer's ultimate here to keep everyone alive at the beginning, and then go ahead and trigger with my this guy. And then I'll wait until I get Twinfiend's ultimate again, and then I'll trigger all these ultimates to try and break that shield. So here we go. Try and do as much damage as possible in this phase. So this is one thing, if you have the damage, you can basically hit your 5k with that after breaking this first physical shield, and you don't have to worry about getting the 12k. I was trying to see if I could break 12k, and so I've managed to do that. And then it's just going to be a bit of a process. Okay, so now he's going to switch to the magic phase, and that's where I need Hex. And then I need to make sure that everyone can survive. So I'll just go ahead and trigger Twyla so she can start building her stacks. And notice I'm getting some good damage from Vorn. He's just putting out these additional stacks of poison. And then as soon as this guy gets those, kind of starts to switch, is when I will trigger my Hex. And Hex will just keep his ultimate up basically the whole time, which is pretty cool. So switch there, and I didn't get Kigiri up in time, but that's fine. Okay, now I'm gonna need to use Ferssi on this Drake's Bellow to kind of keep everyone alive. And I'll go ahead and trigger my, my damage dealer there. And then I need to use these ultimates to kind of keep people alive. So I will use the seismic, I'll use this Wood Elf at this seismic slam. And then I will also trigger Elowyn basically as soon as I can, or as soon as the other hits start to come out. So you can see I've got 5k already, so that's good. Hex really helps here. As soon as the Drake's Bellow kind of starts to go, I will trigger my Elowyn, and then I'll hold on to this ultimate here. And then when the Meteor Strike is coming is when I need to use my Kigiri's ultimate so that he doesn't die. And I'll just go ahead with Twyla here and hope we have enough healing so that everyone can survive. And I kind of need everyone to survive in order to be able to get through the magic shield, which is coming right now. Okay, so I'll trigger my Twinfiend, and hopefully we get some big hits from Hex and can break this second magic shield, or this second shield. I also find that I kind of need some help from Ferssi here, so I'm just going to trigger him, and hopefully that means we get a bit more damage from our Hex and can make it through this second magic shield, or this, initial magic shield, which is the second shield. And then I have to wait. So on my physical damage dealers, I have to wait until he switches modes to actually get more damage from him. Okay. So I'm gonna wait on this until he switches modes, and then I will put up my Twinfiend here. I will take out Hex because he will not survive in this phase. And then as soon as he switches to blue is when I will trigger everyone here. So here we go. And if we take a look at the stats here, you can see Sun Wukong is really doing a ton of damage. Hex is almost caught up with him because he does way more damage on the magic phase. And then Kigiri and Twyla are behind. And it looks like I'm going to need to use the Drake's Bellow here again. Try and survive this. And just basically try and survive as long as I can. So that's kind of the trick here. And it looks like I'm basically about to hit my 12K, and that's kind of all I'm concerned with. So, I mean, as I mentioned, okay, I've got to hit, so this is going to be the stun, and I've got to use Elowyn here to try and keep everyone healing so that people can survive, and you can see they don't really survive. So that's that's a problem, right? This is not easy content in the least, but I did manage to hit my 12K. So yeah, it's rough. If you don't have certain heroes like Aylin, like certain other kind of healer types or damage mitigation types, you just can't survive. And so this is one reason that no one in my guild is really doing this content, and I'm barely able to hit 12K. So I'll show you my stats. They're not terrible. So I'll just go ahead and complete this. You can see Sun Wukong obviously bring down the house, and then Hex right behind him. But yeah, Twyla and Kigiri are pretty much even here, and then Vorn does some pretty good damage too. So yeah, Vorn seemed to be the missing piece for me to hit that 12K. If you have the poison comp, then that's going to make it way easier as well. But I'll just kind of show you who I have. So Setram can really help with those shields, and yeah, can boost people. So at this point, it's probably not worth it to me to spend 100 diamonds every day to try and get an extra chest, but it is an extra chance at those soul stones, so I might bite the bullet and just do it. But let me show you these stats here. Twinfiend is basically in there for the Lord bonus, but I have tried to build him as a fighter DPS, so 18k attack, some pretty good speed, 375, and then not crit capped, a little bit of crit damage. And yeah, in this set here, with his maxed out Devil's Gaze artifact, which is good. He's not fully skilled. That's another thing that I could probably do to improve this. Ferssi is fully skilled and is built as a pretty good healer. So 17k attack, some good HP for survival, 37k, and then 439 speed with a little bit of healing effect. And he is running the Euphoric Orb. And I think I do have him awakened. Yeah, I have awakened level 3. Here we have Hex. And Hex is awakened 3. He's got his exclusive artifact. And then he's got almost fully skilled. The main skills are there. And I need 18.9k attack and 290 speed, crit capped at 300% crit damage. Then we have our Diaochan, also built to heal, and she does damage mitigation with her skills, fully skilled. She is A1. I did use a soul stone on her to get that extra range. And then her gear is Wings of Grace with pretty good attack stats. I could probably give her a bit more HP to help her survive, but she's got 13.7k attack and 263 speed. And then she is running with her, her exclusive artifact that I need to upgrade a little bit more. Vorn is built for damage, and he's not fully skilled. And he does have this Spirit Siphon artifact, and then I've got him built as a damage dealer. 16k attack, 26k HP, and almost crit capped with some good crit damage, 470 speed to keep those poisons up. My Torodor is built as a tank in Invigoration. So I could probably use him to boost someone like Kigiri, get a bit more damage there. But as it is, I'm just using him in the Tuning Crystal artifact, and then gave him a lot of HP and some decent defense. So 117k HP with 6k or so defense. Not super fast, and not really built for damage. Just want to keep him alive. And again, yeah, these are all kind of A0 except for Sun Wukong, who is A5. So that's one reason he's doing so much damage. Fully maxed skills. He does have his exclusive artifact fully maxed, and then he's built for damage. So 26k attack, some good HP there, 400 speed or so, and crit capped with 325% crit damage. Then my Kigiri is not awakened at all, and he has pretty good damage gear on. So 25k attack, 300 speed, and crit capped. I would like to give him a bit more crit damage, and he has some decent HP as well, and he does have his exclusive artifact fully maxed. And then Twyla, and she is not fully skilled, so that's something that I could probably do to improve her damage output. She is in a Scarlet Hunt, and she's also built for damage. So 22k attack, 300 speed, and almost 300% crit damage. And then Elowyn is just built to heal as much as possible. I did give her a bunch of speed as well, so she's got 20k attack with some good HP, 30k or so, 500 plus speed, and a little bit of rage regen and healing effect. And I've got her running in this Elysian Epitaph, so she gets more healing effect and she's able to keep people alive a bit longer. So yeah, so that's the team, and that's how I'm able to hit 12k. But getting higher than that, getting to these 22, 35, 60, I just have to wait to have the right heroes and keep kind of working on it. It's not really worth it for me at this point, but I might consider trying to get higher at least, and if I can hit that 22k chest, that might give me a bit more incentive to spend diamonds and get an extra chest. But it'd be nice if other people in the guild were also interested. Maybe we'll try and get that down. So yeah, if I do 12k, I'd need another 20 people or so to do 12k in order to get this down, and people in my guild are just not really interested. So, and I think 95% of the player base is not really interested in this because it's so hard. But anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Thanks a lot for watching. Do like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.